Man, love it. Good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here, of course, with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as Joe Bear in the house. And as always, you know I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys and you ladies, you know that this does not work. So let's get open for business and let's wake up all these football gods I have around me. My God, I am truly blessed. I'm sitting here looking at the 77 Dallas Cowboys. I'm looking at Tom Landry up here. I'm looking at Bob Lilly up there and the Doomsday defense. Oh my God. I am surrounded by greatness. You know, yesterday I was had to go down the country and do a bunch of work. I was actually going to go this morning, but by the time I drove down there and worked on getting that bathroom together and everything, I just got back home and did my videos. I was tired. And I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to put it off and go down Saturday. Just give myself a day or so. There's been so much that's been going on. But when I went down yesterday, the remnants of the hurricane were actually coming up the East Coast. We got about 4 inches of rain, wind, nothing. I'm not complaining. Believe me, I'm not complaining at all because I know so many people are going to be dealing with it, still don't have power and may not for weeks. And people lost their homes. I am not complaining whatsoever. But it was crazy because, I've got these rainstorms that we're on the interstate that the speed limit is 70 miles an hour. And we were literally only able to go about 30 miles an hour because you could not see. And I think about how hot and humid it was, the days leading up to it. Storm comes through. And now the temperatures drop down. I think it was in the 60s last night. The skies just seem clearer. It must have washed away all the pollution. And it is actually going to be like 81 degrees, I think, today. So it's, about 14, 15 degrees cooler. And, they always say, after the rain comes, that's when the good times start. And that's where our Dallas Cowboys seem like they've been for a long time. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. All I know is 7 days, 10 hours, 42 minutes, and 30 seconds from right now, well, almost, from right now, the Cowboys kick off against Tampa Bay. I know we've had problems, all kinds of problems, okay, over the last 26 years. Had some good teams, and we've had some ass teams. I get that. But I feel like we are on the other side of the hurricane. I can be wrong, but that's just the way I feel right now. I want to feel positive and hopeful. I'm not going to live in this world of being negative Nelly and just saying, oh, same old Cowboys, we suck, we're going to be bad, and everything else. I'm actually looking at it a little differently because I see some things that are different than what I've seen in the past with the Cowboys. First of all, contrary to what you've heard from Adam Schefter and everything else, we're going to start the season a hell of a lot healthier than we have in most seasons. With the exception of Neville Gallimore, this team is actually in really good shape. You remember last year that we didn't get Lyle Collins out the starting gate. I know he's got a neck stinger that he got last week and things. And I know currently we have 5 players that are on the COVID list. I expect to see 4 of those guys coming off today before we have practice because today is the first practice getting ready for Tampa Bay. We have 5 practices before next Thursday. Oh, my God. I can't believe it. I just realized that, I've kind of had this lull in between getting stuff together. I still have, memorabilia that's been sent to me from fans and stuff that I got to still finish getting together for the man cave, getting the look. I got to get the outside still completed for, for the outdoor party because next Thursday night, we're going to be out there next Thursday. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. back to this whole thing. From the end of the year before, and understand, to fix a mess, you got to make a mess. When I go through and renovate a house, especially one that's been sitting for a long time, you got to rip some shit out. I remember the first house that I did down in Waynesboro. It was a Pentecostal church built in like 1908, and it was in bad shape, man. Literally, the roof line was like a saddle. It had like a belly onto it. And I'm not crazy about real steep roofs, so we decided we're just going to tear that off and we're going to reframe it up. I still have some of the original oak timbers and stuff from it. I built a big butcher block out of it and things. In fact, Jet D's butcher block is made from some of that wood from there. So I took that roof off, and I remember my father-in-law coming in and looking at it and looking at me like, look at this idiot taking on this piece of crap. Can't believe my daughter married this idiot. Because it looked pretty bad. This house was so crooked that when they put the kitchen cabinets on, they couldn't run them straight across. They had to stair step them to follow the way the floor went. It wasn't easy, and it took some time. But 16 years later, that house looks really good. But we had to make a hell of a mess to fix it. And that, my friends, have been the Dallas Cowboys. From the time we ended up letting go Jason Garrett, this has been changed to rebuild, to reload, to move on from things that weren't working in the past. Last year was the beginning step, which was short because we didn't have time, because of COVID, to start really getting in there and starting to pull off all that drywall, all those bent boards and everything else, all that rotted wood. We just kind of started doing the demo. This past off season, we've definitely finished that demo and started the rebuilding process of this team. And instead of it being Harry Homeowner, aka Jerry Jones, trying to do all the work, he decided to get himself a structural engineer. A structural engineer in Dan Quinn. So, you know what? We got this Dallas Cowboys fixer up here. I just started ripping some shit off and everything else. But I'm kind of stuck here on the defense. And I figured I'd bring in an expert. And it seems like that expert has ripped out all the bad stuff, all the hodgepodge Harry Homeowner japped up on the walls, and actually started framing up the defense and making it solid. Going out there and saying, I need guys like Brent Urban on the defensive line, not your Don Terry Pose. I need a guy who's long, who's athletic, who can move, that's a run stopper. And, with the defense here, I need to get an absolute stud in Micah Parsons. Now, I'm not looking at the cornerback first. I need the guy that can go after that quarterback's ass. And you can see that the Cowboys have been doing this. You can see this contrary to Skip Bayless and his whole thing of, my $75 million quarterback and all this stuff out here. The reality is Jerry Jones realized, I got to stop playing these games. Let's just get this shit done. Let's make it good for both parties and give me some capital so that way we can go ahead and get this thing built. I need to free up some cash. And instead of fighting Dak Prescott in the media and everything, he went ahead and just said, let's do this thing and move on. And then he decided to get rid of some of the unfinished business and get that slice of humble pie. The Jimmy situation. And admit that I was an idiot. I fucked it up. And it feels like that storm has passed. I don't know. Maybe I'm reaching for things, but I feel like this Dallas Cowboy team, this group of young guys, because what you want to do is you want to get talent together, get a coaching staff that can develop that talent, Take that young core group of guys and get them up to speed over the course of a couple of seasons and have that window to make that run. I feel like that's the Cowboys right now. Zeke is getting up there a little bit. This is where running backs, they have kind of a cycle. Usually the fourth year is the peak of most running backs. The fifth year, they kind of drop off. You can look at DeMarco Murray from that 1,800 yards going to Philadelphia to 700 and something. But then there's that rebound the year after that, like DeMarco Murray did with the Titans, back over 1,000. So you know you've got that. And the thing that I feel great about right now is, and I'll be the first one to say that I had, been talking about this quite a bit, was because Amari Cooper seemed to, hold on, broke-ass media. This is what you get with broke-ass media. Sorry. One of these days, I'm going to have a camera person here. That's what I'm going to have. But Amari Cooper, who had the mystery foot surgery, and it seemed like it took forever, and I kept saying, what's going on with it? Forgive me on that one, because you take a look at this. You take a look at this. Boy, I really need some help. You look at Amari Cooper. Look at this. Boom. Yeah. Healthy. Amari is practicing. Look at that. You see that? Did you see the jock strap laying on the ground? Wow. We got Dak back at practicing. And, contrary to what you've heard, if you watch Hard Knocks, it didn't look like he was, no, he wasn't doing that. Your offensive line is together. You've got some decent backups. You know the defense is going to improve. You got to look at this team and feel better about it. I know the haters out there are hating on it and figuring, the same old Cowboys. Dak is trash cut. Jerry Jones ain't meddling right now. Jerry Jones right now is living his best life. And we'll see what happens come next week. And with that being said, I'm going to go out here. I've got a whole lot to do, of course, the next week. I got to finish getting this place together because I know that David Wiley will be here. I know Michael Anthony Fitness will be here. I know I'll be here. I believe E2 will be here, and I'm hoping DMV will be here. We will be, of course, live streaming each of the Dallas Cowboys games. In fact, we will be live streaming starting 1 o'clock on Sundays, just carrying all the games. It's going to be a party for everybody. So that's where we are evolving. I hope I'm in shape to be able to talk for that long. So that being said, I'm going to let you guys on this Thursday get back to work. Thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. You did one hell of a job, and the only thing else I got to say is